Yo, everybody. Dude, Joe and Shob just turned 21, man. Oh, finally.
Yo, it's happy birthday cast.
Happy birthday cast. Because one of the members, I won't reveal who, just turned 21. And we are celebrating by talking about really okay wrestling. Sometimes good, sometimes great, sometimes just okay. And that's how we're celebrating. Some awful people, too. That is one of our major news segments of this week. But other than just celebrating, 21, what a big deal. I am so drunk right now. Oh, I'm drunk in my love of wrestling.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be 21 in like a month here. Mm. And, oh, man, wait. If I tell them what my birthday is, they'll be able to find me.
Yeah, if we did, we should do a Joe and Shob drunk cast. It'll happen one day. Let's be honest.
I'd be up for it.
It'd have to be in person though.
Yeah, obviously. Like, every time we do something annoying, you have to do a shot or something.
Oh, or just we start it like we drink beforehand. So then once we start, we're already drunk and it's just terrible.
That's awful.
Oh, it'd be terrible. People would hate us.
I would love it, honestly. If it was like a slow week, we can make that week so much more exciting.
Yeah, you know it. But right. I went to the casino for the first time. They knew it was my birthday because they carded me and they were like, "Yo, you get a free buffet today since it's your birthday." And I was like, "Whoa!" So I got free food and then I lost $80.
Oh my god!
Yeah, well, my parents gave me $100 to go and gamble with, specifically for that intent. And I spent 80 of it, and I mean, I guess I had fun. I don't plan on doing it with my own money anytime soon because wow, there was actually I was one spin away. Like my parents said, this rarely happens. I was one away from winning $51,000.
What?
Yeah. Like
oh my God.
I had four times, and then I was really close to getting the next 4 times, and I would have won that like a shit ton of money because I was doing max bets. And wow, yeah.
Wow, that's nuts.
I was like, what would I have done with that much money? Holy crap.
Your parents probably wouldn't have given it to you, to be honest with you.
I mean, they would have been like, hey, I would have said it.
No, they would have been like, all right, we're saving it for you.
I would have paid my car off. I would have made it so Joe and Shob was set up.
Make our videos ads on YouTube.
Anyways, so we had some going-ons this week. The news. We did. News. Basically, the news is just that there are a lot of former wrestlers. One who's actually signed with the company, and they want us. They claim that they want to be left alone, but they constantly do things that make us keep talking about them. And I would say it's their fault. They keep having public incidents, so it's pretty hard when people are seeing you in public do these things and you say, leave us alone. That's not going to happen because you do these things in public.
Right. I, for one...
We're talking about Alberto Del Rio and Paige.
Yeah. I do read, like, I go around on the internet and stuff and I read stuff about Alberto and Paige and stuff. And I'll read stuff about how crazy Alberto is. Like, he goes... And he challenges the Usos in the New Day and Triple H to come fight him.
I know. Like, what? I mean, ballsy, sure.
Yeah,
give you that. But
yeah, he goes to the GFW tapings at the very end. He starts shooting on WWE and like, oh, they suck. Screw them. And then they cut his mic off. So he's like, I can yell still. And he starts yelling. And I'm like, all right, this guy's crazy. But
by the way, I like how Alberto Del Rio would literally be nothing without that company.
Yeah.
He'd be just another guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't... Nothing about... Like, even El Patron in TNA, or GFW now, there was a couple tapings ago where he was wearing Del Rio trunks, where he'd said Del Rio on him. That's not his name anymore.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And it's like, oh my God, like, this guy's crazy. And, yeah, you know what? Like, I don't know how popular he was before he went to WWE, obviously, but... The incarnation he has right now, I'm pretty sure was whenever is like the carnation he had when he first came in. Cuckoo clock. Oh, it's over. I thought it would last longer.
I muted the mic.
Oh.
I muted the mic.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, anyways. So all I have to say about this is, I mean, they're pretty much terrible people. One of them is claiming, "Oh, she assaulted me," and Paige is like, "I threw a a drink at him, but we're all good. They have these constant like moments of they are obviously a terrible couple, but they literally only, I swear to God, I think they just stay together because Alberto Del Rio is so like obsessed with his manliness and sticking to his words that he's like, no, I said we're going to stay together and we are. And I'm like, yeah. If people didn't hate him on the internet, then Paige and him would have been gone a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Guaranteed.
Yeah. But he does all that stuff, and I've been like, yeah, you know what? We don't have to talk about this guy. Like, if this isn't worth talking about in an hour-long podcast, but what happened this week was actually, I think, like a big deal. And
because they suspended
actually
him.
Worth bringing up. Not only that, but
he's the world champion. They suspended him.
What happened prior to that too was a little weird because we had I don't know if you heard all the stuff about this, but I was like, I didn't really care much about it, and then I read more into it, and I was like, holy crap. But so there was an incident at an airport in Orlando, I think, and Patron or Del Rio, whichever, it doesn't matter. Like I said before, same guy. They got detained for domestic assault or something like domestic battery, I think. I don't know. I don't remember the exact wording. But anyways, Paige went on Twitter and was like, hey, you know what? He's in there because some lady came up to us and threw water at us and blah, blah, blah. There was a third party involved.
Wait, that was her. That was her.
Yeah.
She's the one who threw beer at him.
Yeah. And then
according to her, too.
No, at first she said it was a third party.
So she lied.
Pretty much. And then the TMZ came out. Yeah, no, TMZ. And
TMZ cares about wrestling?
I guess so. They came out with that Darren Young being gay, so sometimes when it benefits them.
Yeah, I guess.
They released audio of the incident, and it was Paige basically yelling at Del Rio.
Did you listen to this or like read about it?
I listened to it.
Oh man, that sounds juicy to listen to.
I was like, oh my god, this guy's a jerk. And then Paige's brother posted on Facebook and said like, I don't want my sister to end up like Whitney Houston. This guy is crazy and he's beating her and stuff like that. And it's like, oh my god, what? And then apparently somebody at the airport was saying that they were screaming about cocaine, and Paige is like, you do too much cocaine. and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's mostly probably Del Rio, like probably 60-40.
Obviously. Paige is young, and obviously, as we know of all those, of the leak that happened earlier.
Paige can save herself. Yes. She's young enough. I just think Del Rio is just terrible.
He's a terrible person, and if it's, I don't know, there's no proof that he does, beat her or anything, but if he does, then yeah, screw him. He's garbage.
Paige won't be screwing him. Oh.
No, she won't. She'd be screwing him.
Actually, I'm sure she would anyways.
I don't know.
Wow, this is a very bleak segment. Pretty sad. But wow.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. It just goes to show you how some wrestlers are terrible people, and we shouldn't trust them all the time.
Yeah.
By the way, Del Rio is the Global Force champion.
That's why I said they suspended their champion.
Like
Bobby Lashley was much better than this guy.
He's the first ever Impact / Global Force champion of all time. and this happened, and they suspended him like
indefinitely.
He just won.
There's no time. He's just suspended until he's not anymore.
I think it's just a matter of time before they vacate the title and stuff, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, I don't know.
I feel like Global Force changing the name is like a pretty nice restart for them. Actually, like I think that's not a terrible idea because people just hear TNA and go, oh no. If they rebrand themselves and maybe no Dixie Carter try to start fresh, they could not become great, but at least not have such a sour reaction when you hear TNA. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. And like the them suspending him though, it's obviously it doesn't put the company in such great light that their champion is acting like this, but it does put them in a little bit of good light because they're suspending them, and they're not like when they're not pulling a Jeff Hardy Sting Victory Road where they just send Jeff Hardy out there, high to do a match.
Yeah,
I
mean it's a different company now for the most part. As it feels like there's
definitely
completely different owners, and Things are different. So this is not good for their start of their brand change, but maybe there's different things to come. I hope so.
It goes to show they have standards. Something the TNA's never had.
Yeah, it's nice.
So,
anyways, that was that. This week, actually, the day we are filming this, they are taping the Mae Young Classic. It apparently won't be showing on the network for a little bit. I wish it was live.
Yeah, I don't know that they also did this with the Cruiserweight Classic too.
It wasn't live. Okay, I didn't know that.
No, it was episodic.
It's just
so like every week a new.
There's going to be spoilers though.
The only spoiler
have seen it already. So
the only spoiler I sort of saw, although I don't even know if it was true or is. You remember whenever there was that Japanese, or is she Japanese? I think she's Japanese.
Kairi Tomo.
Yeah, and
I like her a lot. She's cool.
Yeah. But there was like Dave Meltzer's just like, oh, they're not letting her use the elbow drop. Well, guess what? She does the elbow drop, so don't worry.
It's Dave Meltzer. He's not always right.
Dave Meltzer's wrong about so much, but people take him like so seriously. There's this new guy who apparently is on Twitter or rising up, and he's like become more right about stuff. And he's like, yeah, Dave Meltzer's full of crap. What is he talking about? No, what's this? No, this is stupid. So I'm happy about that.
Poor guy.
Dave Meltzer said that TJP got his name changed because Vince McMahon doesn't like Perkins, the restaurant.
He also said that he also rated a match over the top limit that you could rate it, which is impossible to do.
And then over that.
That's just a joke. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't care. People were so super upset about that. I don't really care. Like, I like the match.
I'm not super upset, but I just think it makes him look silly.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to say something is perfect, then 5 out of 5 is the most you can give it. Otherwise, your ranking system's broken.
Yeah.
Something can't be better than perfect.
And, like, I don't mind that he did that because it's getting a lot of people, like, down to earth about it because he's literally just a guy. Like, he might be he's a knowledgeable
I don't care
wrestling.
about Dave Meltzer. I care about him because, I mean, I have a podcast and I guess I have to talk about him sometimes, but his opinions and stuff like that don't mean anything to me.
Right. Like, people prefer different styles. He's even said it himself, and it's an opinion, more or less, and like he's been watching wrestling for a long time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't like this over that. So when people are like, oh, but how many stars does he have? It's like, that's just stupid. Now, if you're gonna be like Kenny Omega and go on Twitter and get heat for it, then go, by all means, do that because it makes you look like a giant, jerk. But
you can't say the bad word.
Not like a fan. Yeah, I don't know where I am. I don't know where
you're like, you big jerk. I'm like, oh man, you can't say jerk. That's not a bad word.
On iTunes, this is marked as explicit because I don't remember like what we say.
Oh yeah, well that's probably safe.
I don't want to.
I don't know if we swear or not.
Yeah, I honestly don't.
We swear, but I mean, I don't know if we're excessively swearing.
I also don't know if talking about potential domestic abuse is good for a clean.
Yeah,
podcast.
I mean, we're not intentionally explicit. We're just naturally explicit.
Yeah. I mean, we're adults, right? You're 21. I'm 20.
You're 20. No more jokes, especially no more jokes anymore.
Yeah, no more jokes.
Actually, no. 20, you can make jokes. No jokes. 21, you can make more jokes than you could before you were 20. It's that year that you have to think about more jokes.
Oh, yeah. And then 22 comes around and you're like, all right, time for jokes.
And then time for super jokes.
And then they all fail and you're like, all right, I'm just going to give up.
Did I tell you that I did go to the bar for the casino for the first time, and my brother's friend was there, and he gave me a Long Island iced tea, but I said, hey, what is this? And he said, fun. And my dad said, oh, it's Long Island iced tea. Well, apparently there's 5 shots in there.
Oh.
And I had half of it very quickly. So I was at a slot for probably 10 minutes, and then I got up and I was like, whoa, that was kind of hard. Why was that difficult? I mean, I knew why, but...
Yeah.
And then I completely stopped drinking because I was like, oh, God. I've never felt hilarious. This way before.
That's hilarious.
Like, everything was feeling dizzy, and my mom was talking to me, and I'm like, Mom, shut up.
That should be explicit.
That's pretty explicit, talking about drinks. Anyways, so we had Raw and SmackDown. The stuff.
Great Balls quick thoughts on Great Balls of Fire.
Fire?
Great Balls of Fire.
Well, that's not the name.
Great WWE Great Balls of Fire.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually thought it was more than pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was any better than that.
I would say it was good, which is better than pretty good.
Right. I don't think that it was like it like blew me away. It was nothing on the card exceeded my expectations, except for what happened with the ambulance match, which we talked about in our quick thoughts video, where Roman Reigns attempted murder, which we'll get into more when we talk about Raw a little bit. But yeah, what are you gonna do?
I thought that segment was great. It was the best part.
It was the best part.
It was funny because it wasn't a match. Also, Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar was fun.
It was fun.
It was pretty short, but Brock Lesnar never works long matches. So, I mean, what can you expect?
True. Hopefully we get a pretty good match out of him at SummerSlam.
Yeah, hopefully it's a fatal 4-way.
I would love that.
I guess we can transition into Raw. We're just going to talk about it right now. We had the main event picture for SummerSlam announced. Basically, Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns arguing up, and Brock Lesnar's there, and Samoa Joe's making the argument that he is the one who deserves the Universal title, but Roman Reigns was out there first, and he's like, no, I do. And then Samoa Joe's like, you lost last night. And then Roman Reigns is like, you lost last night. This segment was so good. Not because of Roman Reigns, because Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Because Brock Lesnar on the mic is usually a pretty honest guy. Like he's not one who scripts himself. I honestly don't believe that anyone goes up to him and goes, Brock, you have to say this. Like he just says obviously. Like, oh shit. And he's like, oh, you suck. And then he tells Roman Reigns, you don't deserve shit. And I was like, oh yeah. Because like he just felt it. Because apparently Brock Lesnar was very happy with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's performance, which it was brutal. It was pretty good. It wasn't all we had hoped for, but it was great, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought, like we said before, I thought it was a little short, and I mean, I know you're like, oh, WWE doesn't, or Brock Lesnar doesn't work long matches. Yeah, but if he did work one long match here, it would have blown us away, and we would have been like, oh my God, that was awesome. But we're not sitting here saying that, unfortunately.
I think it would have been longer if, that stuff with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman wasn't so long. I mean, that match didn't start until almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but you feel like, I don't know, if maybe
there was a weird fucking match between Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins. What? They didn't even show the ending.
Apparently he won with a Canadian Destroyer off the top rope.
I don't even know what
Kurt Hawkins said.
I don't even know what that is.
It's an indie move. Like before the super kick became the indie move, that was the move.
Super kick isn't even an indie move. It's Shawn Michaels' move. I don't want to hear anybody say that.
Well, Shawn Michaels did it as like a finisher.
Oh, so indies just do it whenever they want.
Well, I mean, now people in WWE do it. Like Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, I don't know, bunch of people. They all use it now.
Yeah, well, I don't watch the indies because I'm not a loser, and I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
Actually, I don't really watch indies either. I don't know if New Japan counts. Maybe it's an indie over here, but
I'm a WWE fan more than I'm a wrestling fan, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe I just don't have time. Maybe I just don't care. Maybe I'm watching other stuff. Who knows?
Yeah. Apparently, though, the New Japan wants to sell out a 22,000 seat arena next year for their American G1.
I think that's possible.
I think that's what Raw and SmackDown does. So that's pretty impressive. Yeah.
But Raw and SmackDown do it every week. So I mean, I hope people aren't like, "Whoa, they're doing the same numbers as them. That means they're just as good." I'm like, no, but this was a big once in a year deal for them, not once a week. Okay, so don't say that.
Right. By the way, on WWE Shop, it's filled with
WWE fidget spinners.
No, on clearance, it's just filled with Enzo and Cass merch.
Oh, it's so sad.
Also,
what about when they come back? They're gonna have to, Do you not believe that they'll ever come back?
I don't know.
I hope they do eventually, but I don't know. What's Enzo gonna do?
Be partners with Big Show.
I don't know.
By the way, the Fight Owens Fight Blu-ray is only $15. It's pretty good. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy a DVD only because that stuff just ends up on the network, kind of. Anyways, eventually the footage shows up, so I'm not too worried about it.
This is just a talking point. Anyways, yeah.
Samoa Joe, whenever he said, "You keep your eyes on me," everybody was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, that was good. It was really good.
So, whenever Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns have their match, my assumption and hope is that Braun Strowman interferes and they have a fatal 4-way at SummerSlam. I think that would be legit.
That would be amazing.
It'd be a big deal.
It would be. Yeah. Like the whole thing with Roman Reigns coming out and being smug and stuff. And
by the way, Roman Reigns did feel irrelevant in this stuff. Like once Samoa Joe came out, he was just kind of standing there, and I was like, "This is like very representative and symbolic of how most people feel about how he is in just the storylines in general."
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I mean, think about it this way though. Like, do you think when they decided to do Samoa Joe versus Samoa Joe versus Brock at Great Balls of Fire, like the second they decided that, do you think they pictured Samoa Joe being like this relevant at this point?
I assume this is all the setup for it, so I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I mean, they do these things on purpose.
True. Although, I don't know, because he wasn't really doing much, and then he won the Fatal 5-Way, and now he's like, he's at like the top of the show, and I feel like, sure, like, they put him up there, but I feel like he's been knocking it out of the park with like segments and stuff. And
segments definitely. And the Coquina Clutch has become a big deal.
Yeah, I'm really starting to, like
starting to care for him a lot is a big deal.
Exactly, and I'm starting to think more that his promos and those segments really helped him get to where he is too. Like it wasn't just the booking. Like they're confident in him.
No, I think what he's done himself. Like sometimes booking can only go so far. You gotta carry yourself a little bit.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna say it did have something to do with it. I agree. And I'm happy because Samoa Joe's a big deal.
He's big.
He's big. Get it? Because he's big. But I would love to see that Braun or Samoa Joe possibly winning the title at Universal Slam, winning the summer title. Didn't mean to do that. Do you think Roman Reigns wins that match? You thought he would win the ambulance match. I didn't think he would.
A fatal 4-way. I think Samoa Joe wins.
I would really think that Braun Strowman would win.
I think just Samoa Joe would win though, because he lost to Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire, and like this would be him getting like his win back.
Yeah, I think that fatal 4-way too is the best way to keep Brock not looking like he lost one-on-one. Which is what they did with WrestleMania 31. So I mean that's keeping with character for Brock. Making sure he doesn't lose clean ever. Unless it's Goldberg. He's the only person who's beat him clean since his comeback, really, honestly. But if that's how they set up for SummerSlam, I'll be a happy boy. Would that main event, or would the Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal again main event?
Probably the fatal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that.
Jinder.
Jinder's not main eventing over Brock Lesnar, unless it's Jinder versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh my god. That'd be so bad.
By the way, there was a sign at Great Balls of Fire that said Brock fears
the Maharaja. Yeah.
And I was like, man, that is so right.
He does. He does.
He probably doesn't even know.
I don't even he doesn't know who Jinder Mahal is. I guarantee it. I guarantee he does not care at all about whatever happens on SmackDown. Maybe he'll be like, who's that guy holding the belt? He'll be at SummerSlam and be like, who is that guy? I don't know who that guy is. Well, I don't care that much. Because Brock Lesnar just seems like a guy who's very hands-off about his job. He just, I'm here right now. Okay, bye-bye.
He's earned it. I mean, he's an incredible athlete. He doesn't need to.
I think to an extent, if you're going to have like the role of being world champ, you got to at least care about the other talent a little bit, because you set an example for the rest.
He cares about the people he works with.
Oh, you don't know that.
Samoa Joe. Well, not Dean Ambrose, but Samoa Joe.
Dean Ambrose, the guy who won the title a few months later. He didn't care about him. But I don't know. That's over for that. So we had the Mizzies more Dean Ambrose and Miz stuff, but I guess this was a different way of doing it. What'd you think about that?
It was good. It was like, I loved how, they played it up and like, oh my God, I had no idea. Like Maurice is like, this is amazing. This is the greatest day of my life. Like, stuff like that. I love when they do that.
It was funny, but I don't think it was like great. It wasn't better than the Miz Participation Award.
No, that was
whenever he opened it and it was Dean Ambrose, I wish it still was Dean Ambrose. That would have been funny, but I mean, it wasn't anymore, so it wasn't funny. So it was just kind of like, oh, okay. And then Dean came out, and then this feud's still going on. And then Seth comes out to save him, and they actually paid attention to storyline. And Dean's like, no, why would I trust you, dude? And I was like, oh my God, that never happened with Seth and Roman Reigns. Well, thank God it's happening here at least. Do you think Dean turns on Seth next time Seth tries to save him, and they have a storyline?
No. Well, maybe after, like, this is actually very similar to what I pitched last week.
I would love to see that storyline.
With Seth feuding with The Miz. But yeah, whenever Dean's music hit, I kind of groaned a little bit. Not gonna lie,
because they're still doing the same old thing.
They have been feuding since December, on and off.
Also, Finn Balor is still facing Elias Sampson. Oh my God!
Oh, he beat him. He beat. I think we're gonna see Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor next. It has to happen.
Okay, well, Finn's gonna win that. Hopefully, even though Seth pretty much lost this feud. he lost clean on Monday. Wow.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of a long time coming. So,
but it just doesn't feel right. Like, it doesn't feel like it mattered.
It doesn't feel like a big deal.
Yeah.
Right. But the feud had nothing to go for it anyway.
Yeah. Whenever I was watching my Raw highlights, I mean, I skimmed it very lightly because I was just like, they didn't give me a reason to care. You got to give me a reason to care if I'm going to like really thoroughly watch your segments. Because I will watch the promos. I watch all those. But as far as matches go, like, I won't pay as much attention if I know I don't care about the feud. Because even if it's a good match, I'm still like, but the story, but the the storytelling in the match wasn't there because I didn't care about the match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. Like you've been talking about though, Bray Wyatt is boring. Nowadays he's kind of boring.
I've never been a Bray Wyatt fan personally. I like his intro, but other than that, I mean, he's never. He has a mic skills, but
I used to like him. But
he's unique. But I mean, they really never created like good storylines out of his character, in my opinion.
Finn Balor, there's potential.
Yeah, if they bring the demon back, like that's one of the biggest like unique attributes about Finn Balor, and they haven't used it in over a year.
I'm sure they'll use it at SummerSlam.
Yeah. It'll feel like a big deal since it's been so long. It hasn't even been mentioned since he came back, more or less.
Yeah, he hasn't really done anything since he came back, though, if you think about it.
Yeah, he was in that Fatal 5-Way, but since then it's been meandering, just kind of hanging there in the balance.
Yeah, sometimes he just comes out and his music goes dun, 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 and then he comes out and he pops his collar.
Yeah, and he hangs out with the Hardys, and I mean, I don't know if they're trying to become like a stable or something. I don't know, but that's the thing, I guess.
We haven't really, like, we saw him.
Even the Hardys, like, they're just kind of doing stuff. They're having good matches, but like, they're not having storylines. Even though this week, the Hardys came out and they were throwing broken universe stuff out the wazoo.
That was hilarious.
That was great. One might call us Broten. Like bruised, scarred, and like broken or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, we haven't gone anywhere. One would say that we are obsolete." And I was like, "Hey, gotcha." That's funny.
There's no way that they don't have the rights to the gimmick now.
I really hope they would. They need to make a storyline out of that shit like immediately.
They wouldn't say that on air if they didn't, to be honest.
I mean, they're just words. So, I mean, TNA can't be like, "Oh, you said words."
I mean, Jeff Hardy was... he's pretty specific. He's like, we'll fade away and classify ourselves as obsolete.
Yeah.
And that's what his old theme song used to be.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay.
I never knew their theme song. I only ever really watched, the classic Prime stuff that you got to watch for Broken.
Yeah, that wasn't.
I honestly never really watched any Broken matches because, I mean, did anybody really care for the Broken stuff as far as matches go, or just like
the matches that they did, like the vignette matches they did. Those were funny.
Okay.
I think they didn't really have too many matches outside of that, I don't think.
Yeah. It was just, hey, we're having fun. I mean, they won a lot of tag
Brother
titles.
Nero did a bunch of things, but I don't know. I don't know how far that went to be. I never watched Impact. So. What are you going to do, though? I loved it. And, yeah, as far as Finn Balor goes, I will say that he hasn't really, like, the Fatal 5-Way was a great showcase for him. And the Roman Reigns match, I remember being really good, but I don't remember what he did in it, but he hasn't really had a amazing match. Like, somebody tweeted today, or tweeted not that long ago, like, here are all the moves that Finn Balor did in the match with Elias Sampson, and it was like kick, forearm, elbow, kick, drop kick, like, and it's like, oh wow, that's crazy. You know, he should definitely, like, he hasn't been pushed yet, I think.
I mean,
so
I mean, he did a year ago, but not now, not right now. I just don't think. I think they forgot they had him.
Yeah, I think
they're, at least Samoa Joe is getting the light, because if he wasn't, it's like at least somebody who's like one of those guys who came to WWE with like a lot of promise is getting something done with them. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise it'd be like, oh, we're still pushing Roman Reigns.
I don't know. I just remember back in the day, like, wrestlers would come back from injury and they'd be like a big deal.
Seth Rollins.
Like, Seth Rollins is a big deal. He was a big deal when he came back, but like, I don't know, like, I remember like John Cena came back from injury like a million times, and every time he came back, he'd get a world title shot like right away.
Yeah. Well, he's not Roman Reigns. I mean, he's not John Cena, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You know, he's not that, but I mean,
or like Edge came back and won the Royal Rumble.
No matter what, he'll always be the first Universal Champion. At least there's that.
That's true. They keep saying that too. They don't want you to forget.
It means they're gonna make a storyline out of that eventually. Maybe SummerSlam, the setup for SummerSlam, which is officially beginning, they'll be like, yo, you gotta get another match for the Universal title at SummerSlam. Maybe he's a Fatal 5-Way. Just kidding.
This is what you use Bray Wyatt for, though. When you have a character like this who's in limbo, you know, you can have Bray Wyatt come out and be like, you're in limbo, man.
Yeah.
And he'll like mess with their psyche and be like, this is why, you know, you haven't done anything. It's because your brain's all messed up, but I can fix it for you. Like, you know, but don't make it boring. Just don't make it boring. Don't make it Bray appears on the screen and says, Finn, this is not
Finn. You think you're the best, and I'm better. Haha.
I'm gonna beat you.
And then he loses, unless it's Seth Rollins. But then they don't make
that happens. And then the next week, Finn Balor comes out. He's like, Bray Wyatt, I'm not afraid of you. And then Bray appears on the screen and is like, Finn, you don't know what you're getting into. And then the third week is like, Finn does the same thing, and then Bray appears on the screen after his match. It's like, Finn, you don't know what you're getting into. And then the fourth week is the same thing, and then the match happens and Bray loses. Like, that's every Bray Wyatt feud.
Yeah, sadly. And it always looks like he's about to get over the hump, and they never do.
Nope, never happens.
Yeah, it's very sad. He's had great matches, at least
he has.
In 2014
he really
did.
Has. That Elimination Chamber match, too, he was so good in that. I just rewatched that not that long ago, because I just like throw a match on if I'm like eating lunch, and I threw that on, and man, he was great in that.
I thought he was pretty
really
good. I didn't think he was great. Like, whenever he won, I was happy for him, but like, it's still a character standpoint, set up for it. I was like,
right.
I don't care about this.
Yeah, but I mean, he still like pinned John Cena and AJ Styles. It was like, whoa, he did that.
Yeah,
it was cool.
But then it was all for naught because they didn't have shit for him to do.
Shh, we don't have to think about that.
Oh, we do. We don't forget. No. We don't forget here on the Joe and Shob show. Unless it's a really bad thing that happens on our show and we're really bad and we don't want you to forget about how bad we are. Then we forget.
Like episode 1?
Oh, episode 1 is never forgetty. That happened.
I probably forget everything.
Episode 2 was the really bad one. We had way worse mics on episode 2. Actually.
That is true.
Episode 2, I was like, yeah, I'm using my built-in mic. We're just going to do it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember episode 1. The only part I remember is whenever we're making fun of Seth Rollins looking for the Demon King.
That was probably one of our greatest moments ever. That's one of my favorite segments ever. Demon King, where are you, Demon King?
Where's the Demon King? Can't find the Demon King. But that's all I remember from.
That set up for that feud.
No, that's all I remember. Well, yeah, but also it's all I remember from episode 1 of our show. Was when we imitated that. So.
Yeah, it was fun.
What else happened on Raw? Big Show and Big Cass is happening. I was right.
Yeah, I'm happy for you being right, but I don't really care about this. Just because it's a big guy versus a big guy doesn't mean I have to care. I really don't.
I mean, I don't think it'll be a long match, and I think
I care for Big Cass like getting over, but I don't think it's like, oh man, he's gonna beat Big Show. That'll legitimize him. I don't know. Maybe it will, but
what'd you think of his promo? I thought it was a little weird. Like it was a good promo, but his eye contact was not good.
I thought it was okay. His persona has kind of been not very unique or really amazing. He kind of just has the generic stuff. Like, oh, I put my one arm up.
Yeah. Oh, and cover up the C on the Titantron.
Yeah. Big ass.
But like I was watching this and he's like, "You're gonna look me in the eye and say that I'm the and then he like looked away and he looked right back at the camera. He like looked away for a second and that was like I cringed. I was like, oh, that's really awkward.
Yeah, he's getting better, I guess. Poor Big Show.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with him.
I'm more worried about Enzo. Everyone says they're going to put him in 205 Live. I highly doubt that.
Yeah, that's stupid.
He's not. He can't lace up the boots with those guys. Gonna be honest. You know it's true too.
Neville would destroy him.
It'd be Lana versus Naomi over again. Except for that, it'd be that.
Yeah, Enzo doesn't need to lose again. I'm just put him on Big Show and have
him be a manager or something, or while he goes to NXT, the Performance Center, and tries to get better. Because otherwise, like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. But what else?
We had the 205 Live stuff. Oh, we had the Revival come back. I forgot they existed.
Oh yeah.
Completely forgot they existed.
Yeah, they came back and the club got a win too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, with the Magic Killer, baby. I love that move.
I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Yeah,
I hope it does.
They should really be on SmackDown.
They should have like a match with some other tag team where it's like loser goes to SmackDown and then they get traded to SmackDown.
Loser gets to SmackDown. Should be winner goes to SmackDown.
Honestly, but the club would fit so well on SmackDown.
Yeah, Usos. I can see them making fun of the Usos, and the Usos making fun of them. It'd be fun.
I would be shocked. I was legit shocked when they didn't get traded during the shakeup, and freaking so many guys who did need to get traded did get traded, like the Miz.
Yeah, man, Miz is doing okay on Raw.
Miz would be in the world title picture right now if he was still on SmackDown. That's true.
Jinder Mahal versus the Miz. Well,
no,
we can't know unless we had an alternate universe time machine. But
I don't know. I feel like the Miz could hang with Randy Orton and Jinder, but he can't hang with Brock Lesnar.
You're right. That's true.
Well, I don't know. He was a lot closer to the top on SmackDown. We have to admit that.
Oh, definitely. I think he was coming the cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm. Like an Elimination Chamber, he was in it. If they had Elimination Chamber for Raw, he would not be close to that thing.
Yeah, he wouldn't be. He'd just be like, oh, look, we got Miz. He's an entrant. But you got him on SmackDown. It's like, we got Miz. He's a possible winner.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But what are you going to do? What do you think about this R-Truth and Goldust feud that's happening?
I mean, it was a really short match. Wow. So I guess I didn't care.
We haven't really talked about it too much, but I'm struggling to care a lot about it because, like, I love that Goldust is getting the thing, but I'm just not a big R-Truth fan at all. And no, what are you talking? Shut up! What are you talking about? Anyways, yeah, I'm just not a fan of him, and he kind of annoys me sometimes. So I'm happy to see Goldust do something though. I want to see this move on. I want to see this end.
Yeah, I thought this was like a retirement like setup for both of them, honestly. But I guess not.
This is actually also important. Before we move on to SmackDown, what's Kurt Angle's controversial secret?
That him and Triple H like to talk to each other on the phone.
I think it's like they're implying that it's like a secret lover or something. I think it's like they want you to think that, and it's not at all that.
What if it's Dixie Carter?
It won't be. Come on.
It was a joke. He did like end the phone. He was like, "I love you." I
heard it's probably like his wife or something.
What if it's just his real life wife, and they're like, "Oh, we accidentally recorded that."
Somebody wrote that they hope that like him and Stephanie and him and Charmel. Whenever they were doing like their angles back in the day, like
angles,
Yeah, but they both had illegitimate kids, and that's American Alpha.
What? That's amazing. That's really not amazing. That's so bad.
That's why they're so good at amateur wrestling.
That's so bad. I love it. Wait, they should do that. Too bad they're on SmackDown.
Oh my god, that'd be so stupid.
Oh, you know you would cry laughing.
I wouldn't stop laughing.
You'd be. 20 years later, you'd still be laughing. I'd still be laughing.
I think WWE's not going to do crazy, stupid storylines like that anymore. I don't know.
Charmel putting her back on TV. Wow, I don't even think that's even.
And Booker T is like, what the hell?
Oh no!
But
I love Booker T, by the way. He's in my fave 5.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be some. I mean, it's gonna be something to do with Triple H, because I do think that Stephanie's gonna come back to TV soon, probably, and Triple H and Kurt Angle are gonna have a match. That just sounds like a match that would happen at SummerSlam to me. I think, because before I was like, oh, maybe they could do Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe looks like he might be booked if they do a Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, I would Kurt Angle versus Triple H, I guess. Maybe it's Stephanie's cheating on Stephanie. I don't know what.
Stephanie's cheating on Stephanie?
Yeah, I would cheat on Stephanie. I actually wouldn't cheat on Stephanie. Stephanie's not my type.
I mean, yeah, maybe like in 2003 Stephanie.
No Stephanie's my type.
Or what was the... I think it was 2003, yeah.
Like, no Stephanie's my type. No version of her. No video game version of her. I'm kidding. But she's not my kind of type.
I feel it.
The more muscular kind of thicker girl. I don't know. It's not my type. Anyways,
we got SmackDown.
We got SmackDown. I'm gonna smack you down.
They teased us. We almost got John Cena, AJ Styles.
For the 4th time,
4.
actually. Yeah, I was about to say, people always think it's 3, but they had a match before that.
Money in the Bank, yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget about that.
It wasn't as good, obviously. I think it ended dirty, too, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a pretty anticlimactic ending, I remember. But
and we were like, wow, what's happened to this feud? Oh, AJ Styles is going to get buried. And it was, nope, he didn't. He
even used the word bury on TV.
That's my favorite word to use on TV. Wow, I would have liked to have seen this again, but on TV, it kind of would have been ostracized, in my opinion, because
by the commercials.
By commercials, and then even if they took out the commercials and had a little thing on the side, you still wouldn't be able to see it as well. It'd break your immersion.
You said not that long ago that commercials kind of ruin matches on TV, and I really agree with that.
Oh yeah,
I watched Raw and SmackDown live this week. A, because Raw, I had a really bad stomachache and I couldn't do anything else, and B, SmackDown, because my dad loves SmackDown and I watch it with him every week now. And yeah,
that's awesome. So your dad only likes SmackDown, not Raw.
My dad loves Jinder Mahal.
That is awesome. Why?
My dad loves Jinder Mahal.
Like, actually loves him.
No, like he's like, why are they booing him? He's great.
Your dad's awesome.
And then Ty Dillinger comes out. He's like, oh, this guy's gonna get his ass kicked.
He knows how wrestling works.
And he's like, he's probably not even from India.
Hey, your dad.
And I'm like, yeah, he's
Dad,
Canadian.
you might
He's
right.
like, yeah, I knew it.
I know it. He's probably not even Indian. I mean, he's definitely Indian. He's just not born there.
Yeah. My dad said that for what was it? Miz and Maurice. He's like, they're probably not even married. And I'm like, they actually are.
I remember telling my brother, I was like, oh, Nikki Bella, that's John Cena's girlfriend. And my brother was like, oh, come on, you believe this crap? And I'm like, no, they actually are.
I mean, the Miz probably wasn't too far off when he was making fun of him about how they probably have a fake relationship. That's very much driven by money.
I don't know. John Cena seems like actually legitimately a pretty genuine, nice guy. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know about Nikki, but I like John Cena a lot.
I guess.
I like John Cena a lot. He's great. He's given me no reason to not like him. Most Make-A-Wishes of all time. You kidding me? What a great guy.
Yeah. Hey, he's a really good guy.
He puts all of his time and effort into his craft and what he does. And you know what? I can only respect that, in my opinion. But either way, we saw him. They were about to have a match, and then Kevin Owens, of course, interfered. And then of Rusev, the two guys who what they love to do is like, oh, these two guys, they're fused, so let's just throw them a tag match. Ooh. And they did that for the main event instead of AJ and John Cena for the U.S. title, which is okay, I guess. I don't know how I think about Rusev being back for the reasons that we didn't want, but he's still, you know what? I'm okay with this because I think there's really no argument that they treat the U.S. title like the main event instead of the world title. At least it felt that way this week because who got the main event and who, like, I don't know. When you hear this tag team match, you're like, whoa, those are big deals. And you hear Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, you're like, ah. I mean, they just talked to each other. And it was Ty Dillinger versus Jinder Mahal, and it was like, that sounds like a mid card match to me. And John Cena versus AJ Styles. Oh, that sounds like a potential like WrestleMania like main event to me.
Didn't Jinder Mahal and Luke Harper like main event of SmackDown a couple weeks ago?
They did something on SmackDown.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't really like how they're using Rusev. It kind of irks me still.
It's definitely not the way I would have chosen it, but I'm not the bookie.
You know, the team of John Cena, AJ Styles, they built it up the whole show like, oh my God, these guys are finally teaming up. It's going to be amazing. I thought the tag match was kind of boring, honestly. Like, it was just John Cena gets beat up a lot, and then AJ gets beat up a lot, and then he tags in John Cena. John Cena gets a comeback, and then he hits an AA on Kevin Owens, and then that was the end. And I'm like, oh, was that it?
I thought it was neat how it was like, oh, John Cena versus Kevin Owens, they feuded. Oh, John Cena versus AJ Styles, they feuded. Oh, John Cena versus Rusev, they feuded. I thought that was cool, but other than that, it was like...
I felt that a lot with like the Raw tag team match after WrestleMania. I felt that a lot with that one. With this one, I was like, yeah, it's star-studded and all that, but they're not really doing anything.
What was this tag match after WrestleMania?
It was Seth Rollins and Finn versus Samoa Joe and
Roman Reigns.
Kevin Owens.
Oh, Kevin Owens.
Owens.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was all on board for this stuff. I think Battleground will probably be good and have a good setup. So just having John Cena back feels like a big deal. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Although, didn't we say Money in the Bank was going to be good?
We thought so, but Money in the Bank was a bleak show. Not very good.
It was a stinker.
It was a stanky motherfucker. It was not good.
It was a stinky mess.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was pretty sad.
By the way, AJ Styles won the U.S. title at Madison Square Garden.
What do you think about him winning it at a house show?
I don't mind. I mean, I kind of mind because Kevin Owens is not defended it at all, like, well, and I do think he's going to get it back because he has the Face of America thing going on still.
Yeah, that is weird. He's still wearing the American flag stuff.
I do think, like, probably this fall, Jinder Mahal is going to get it, and he's going to have a really long title reign with it.
Yeah, that'll keep him relevant. I'm not okay, just to completely shift gears, I'm not okay with, it just doesn't feel right for Shinsuke and Baron to be feuding. Maybe it's because even with the Money in the Bank, I don't think Baron feels that big of a deal. And that's actually rare. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's Baron Corbin. Unless he changes something significantly, they're going to really have to try hard for me to make me care about him. Because right time being,
he hasn't done anything.
I mean, it's been not very long. So he has a long time to do something. But
I think him cashing in on AJ or Shinsuke or like after AJ Shinsuke or during or something is like maybe not during.
Oh, during that people will be pissed.
Yeah, but like he's like the anti, internet indie guy. Like he came up
WWE and he's a WWE guy.
His gimmick in NXT was I hate all the indie people, so I'm gonna feud with all of them as soon as they show up.
Well, why isn't that his feud right now? That's a great gimmick. It's funny. It's it gives him character. Why?
Yeah.
That's like the best thing I've heard about him.
Oh, my mic.
Oh no, Joe's dead. Why not give him a gimmick? He's just I'm a lone wolf, so he's a heel. He doesn't like everybody. He doesn't like anybody but himself. And you know what? That's good for a heel. He shouldn't have buddies. But I still don't care about Baron Corbin. He's also a little stiff in the ring. I don't know. He just kind of
doesn't do anything. Like he actually not like stiff as in hits people hard.
I mean, like it literally looks like it literally looks like him walking looks like a chore. Like it looks like it's difficult for him to walk because he's such a big guy. I don't know. I bet if you heard me right now, he'd beat me up. And you know what? I would be okay with him beating me up because I'd be
Shinsuke's gonna beat him. So
and it's like, oh Shinsuke, why don't you have Money in the Bank?
And it's like, wow, the Money in the Bank guy lost to Sami Zayn and Shinsuke.
Yeah,
wow, that's great.
Sami Zayn, we can talk about him. He's feuding with Maria Kanellis and Mike. He got shit thrown at him today or on this episode. I thought that was funny.
I'm glad that these two aren't just showing up and they aren't just having their vignette or promo for 5
weeks
months
and then they come and do nothing. At least they come and do nothing right away.
Yeah,
with no build up.
At least they're already. It's been probably one pay-per-view. It's going to take one pay-per-view before they have an actual match. Meanwhile,
I want her to be the one wrestling. By the way, I want a girl with a dude wrestler, a dude manager. Because
I'd love to see that, but Mike Kanellis is he's been wrestling for 15 years.
Oh, Maria's a way better wrestler. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know that. But
I was joking.
He should get. He should. They
can do both, but I would love to see her wrestle because I don't know. I've been looking at the women's landscape and I'm like, Tamina, she got a pin this week.
Hey, I'll make you.
Natalia's good, but we've seen Natalia for so long that it just doesn't really feel fresh anymore. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't feel believable that she'll win anything
because we just seen what they're going to do with her. I don't feel like Charlotte and Becky should be friends. I just feel like that doesn't make sense. I'm obviously best friends in real life is fine, but in the story, it feels like they should be having the main event feuds on SmackDown, but instead it's fucking Lana and Naomi. And it's like, what have you been doing? Carmella, she's a big deal. We know that. She's cool. I like her. She's been doing great stuff to make herself important. Not like Baron Corbin. How did she instantly make herself important and not Baron Corbin? I guess it was the storyline of it all, but
I don't know. Carmella should really cash in ASAP.
Oh, Naomi sucks. Naomi's going to have the longest SmackDown Women's title reign, by the way, if she holds it till SummerSlam. And I am really tired because all they do with the SmackDown women is that they just plump them into one and go, oh, you guys are going to have a really big match against everybody. And whoever wins gets to fight for the title. And I'm like, you just did that. They literally just did that. They're doing that at Battleground for SummerSlam. And you just did that with a Money in the Bank instead. And it's again, just having a different name on it.
Naomi just isn't defending the title again.
If Lana was the answer for her actually defending the belt, she wasn't the answer because you had her wrestle. You never built Lana up as a big deal, so it doesn't really feel like Naomi has defended it against anybody who's a big deal. Why hasn't she fought Charlotte for it? Why hasn't she fought Becky for it? Oh, because they're friends with her. Oh, Charlotte shouldn't be friends with anybody. She's never been friends with anybody. Charlotte's a heel. But right now, I guess she isn't. I don't know what's going on. For a while, it was like, wow, SmackDown women, they got stuff going on. But now it's like, wow, none of the women have anything going on Raw and SmackDown.
As soon as Carmella cashes in and we get, Carmella is the women thing, and then we get
Carmella
Becky
is the women thing. The
women's champion.
Yeah, she's in the Fantastic Four.
Becky versus James Ellsworth. Then I think we'll be like, all right, I'm ready. And then we get Carmella and Charlotte or something.
Carmella!
Carmella!
I'm sorry. I was just...
Duh!
I miss him. Do you miss him? I don't miss him.
Not really.
Carmella! That's just funny.
Carmella! Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
What else?
I feel like we smacked the down pretty good.
Yeah, nothing really happened this week. I remember so much more happened.
At least Ty Dillinger had a match.
Yeah, I was.
They're actually doing stuff with him. That's pretty good.
I know you watch 205 Live every week, so you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I watched it for 205 seconds. Didn't even watch it for that long.
That was a funny thing. Drew Gulak is the guy with the no-fly zone thing, and he took the picture with Randy Orton a while back. He issued a public apology because he jumped off the top rope.
Okay, that's funny.
That was pretty good.
The cruiserweights are all funny. I just don't want to watch their show because I just don't. If I don't even watch indie wrestling, I ain't gonna watch 205 Live. I don't know. Mae Young Classic I'll watch because it's just a week for an hour, once a week. That's good. And
yeah,
I hope whoever wins it gets a contract. That'd be cool. Kyrie person, she's good. I want to see her. I want to see more women wrestlers. So I would love if that show meant something, kind of like the cruiserweights. But people are like, oh, the women should get their own show, and I'm like, no, never give more shows. We obviously know that doesn't work.
Yeah, I really hope that during the finals they were not like, this is the new women's champion, like the new 3DS, the new women's championship.
Oh, the new 3DS. Okay. Okay, so here's a question we get on our show with.
Okay.
Because we're basically done. The women's roster been floundering. I would maybe say you can disagree with me, but when are they ever going to call up
Asuka?
Why did I forget her name? Okay, why are they ever going to call up Asuka?
I didn't even think that. They got to call up Nikki Cross. I love Nikki Cross. She's my favorite woman in NXT right now. You got her. You have the Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. You got Asuka.
Oh, Peyton Royce. So I'll put her in the WWE instantly. I need her. Sorry.
Well, she technically is already.
You fucking Raw or SmackDown, you bitch.
I think it's very close to happening because of this new women's tournament. I think it's pretty much just going to overtake.
Yeah, NXT is going to have a bunch of new women in it. So that Peyton Royce, they should have just another explosion of women into it. Just throw them all in there, and so there's less mid card crap that no one cares about going on, like Goldust and.
I think though people like Ember Moon beating Asuka, I don't know how I'd feel about that. I don't know. I'm not interested in Ember Moon that much.
Oh, she seems really cool. I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Nikki Cross though is way more interesting to me because they actually had a really good match not that long ago. Apparently, I still haven't seen it. I want to watch it, but the way she just goes unhinged and stuff and just goes nuts, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's Sanity. I like them. They're good.
Yeah, she's my favorite one. Insanity too.
It's Sanity, not Insanity.
I didn't say Insanity. You're good. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, it's so funny. But
yeah, honestly, oh my god,
no, this is a bad episode.
Honestly,
no, it's honestly.
Honestly, the women's landscape changes week to week. Some weeks I'm like, man, they're doing great stuff, like Money in the Bank. Other weeks I'm like, man, like this one. It was just tag matches, and I'm like, man, women's roster is really struggling.
Yeah, Peyton, give me Peyton Royce. I mean, Billie Kay, she's cool. I mean, they're the iconic duo, but come on, Peyton Royce, baby.
Well, I remember a couple weeks ago, and everyone's like, oh my god, the women main evented all 3 shows this week. It was insane.
Wait, that happened
this week? Yeah, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Oh, but what about 205 Live? It's a show.
That doesn't count as a show because no one watches it. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it really make a sound?
Is it 205 Live? It should be if 205 Live was on air and no one was there to watch it. Did it really happen?
Does it really show? Yeah, that's what I was pretty much saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. No one watches it. It's not. It didn't. 205 Live. What is that?
We should make that a meme. That no one watches 205 Live.
I mean, it's a real meme. It's just reality.
Sad.
It's just reality.
Sad. It's a little sad.
All right. So I hope they hope they're calling up people in the future. I think that is something that they got to do for the women. And as far as the men, I think Bobby Roode's doing great in NXT. And
oh yeah,
Roderick Strong, he's kind of boring if you ask me. I mean, I'm sure he's good at wrestling, but I mean, you gotta make me care about you at a character level too. And
the little Roderick Strong, this is my life. Well, not
Bailey. I rewatched that recently. It's bad, but it's not the worst thing ever.
No, I don't know. But they did a little documentary on Roderick Strong's life, and it was really good. I didn't care about him, and then I watched that, and I'm like, oh dang.
Does he have a good life? Does he have a good life?
No, he's had a horrible life. His dad shot his mom.
Oh, so would you say he's Roderick weak?
No, he's strong, and he's married to one of the 4 horsewomen.
There's only 4, so which one?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure Charlotte's not married.
No. I mean the UFC, the actual 4 horsewomen.
Oh, I didn't know there was an actual 4 horsewomen.
No. Yeah, with Ronda Rousey and 3 others that I don't know.
Oh, dude, I bet he's married to Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey was at the Mae Young Classic. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, she's not. He's not married to her, but he's. Yeah, I didn't even know that. And then Bobby Roode in their build up to their match was like, "Hey, tell your wife that she can find me when she wants a real man."
Oh shit!
Oh,
that's
and then
awesome.
They fought. And that was cool. But yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? He's fun. He's a cool guy.
So that was a great Joe and Shob show. We are officially in the setup for the battleground. We don't have many summer casts left. Probably a month and a half of the summer casts.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, it does make me pretty bummed too. Just to even think that I have to go back to somewhere where I have to learn. I hate learning. But either way, good stuff on the horizon. Hopefully,
good stuff on that horizon.
Hopefully. Bring me that horizon is a quote that Johnny Depp said once in a movie. So, yeah, totally relevant to wrestling. We will see you guys next time on the Joe and Shob Show.
I ran out of breath.